Good evening. Today is June the 16th. My name is Matthew Ewing, and we're here to continue with the platform series. The first portion of the series was on state consciousness. I would advise you to review that if you haven't listened to it. However, we're going to move over to the second portion, the mind topic for the platform series, which is translation. I want to take a moment to express my intention behind doing this entire octave. The yellow autonomy octave is laced with modalities that are designed to give an individual personal empowerment. What I'm trying to provide is individuals ways to empower the experiential nature of their reality and do so by themselves, independent from anybody else's sort of attachment to your experience. So you can't necessarily say that you achieve this level of experience due to anyone's activities but your own. That's what translations has to do. That's a specific point of translation. So the first portion of it is we have to discuss a philosophical topic called learning neutrality. What I need you to understand ultimately is that the process of learning has nothing to do with who's teaching you. We've discussed this before when I said the truth of oneness is a self-evident truth at this point. And because that is a self-evident truth, because you are in fact all that exists throughout all versions of existence, who can teach you that is not you? Who are you learning from that is not you? What information is provided that is not provided by you? That renders all information to a state of neutrality, because it breaks away from the illusions of separation of hierarchy. Basically, we've set up socially a merit system that says that certain people have credibility of information and certain people do not. And by extension, we're saying certain information is credible, certain forms of information are not, which is nonsense. All information is simply that. It's information, it's neutral. It exists outside of the confines of judgment of worth. Meaning, no matter where you hear something, no matter where you download a specific version of knowledge, it has no intrinsic value of its own. The value that is provided by you and your judgment of the information, of the knowledge, of its worth towards your tangible reality. Once you can get rid of the concept of judgments, once you can get rid of the concept of, well, hierarchical credibility, and realize that there is no higher form of intelligence, nor is there a lower form of intelligence. There is simply intelligence in all its forms. There's no higher form of knowledge. There's no lower form of knowledge. There is simply knowledge in all its forms. When you can get to that basis, that transplanting point, what happens is that all the full biosphere of information that exists in this experiential reality, whether it be non-verbally communicated, verbally communicated, psychic, or other various forms of knowledge transmutation, it all is consumed into your vessel without filters blocking it out. Without filters saying, you know what, I'm only looking for scientific information, so all esoteric information doesn't apply. I'm only looking for esoteric information, so all scientific information doesn't apply. When you realize that all forms of information applies, then you become just an open source, and it all comes to you. And then you do the second step, which is reorientation of information based on relatability. What I mean is this: every time I say something to you, don't bother listening to the words that I'm using. Don't try and memorize them. Don't write them down. That shit won't help you. Instead, not just with me, but you can start with me because I'm giving you the sanction to do so. just consume the essence of what I'm communicating and then reword it. Get in the practice of doing that with yourself, with every version of information you get, no matter where it comes from. Consume the essence, consume the message of what's being communicated, and then strip away the clothes, the words that it's wearing, because those aren't important. Words are simply sounds. Once you get the essence of the information, that means you understand the information and you can redress it in any words that you want. The way that you get fluid in doing that is by practicing it consciously at first. So every time you hear information, get rid of what the person is saying, their point of view of it, and view the information as neutral, and then reorient it towards the relatability of your life. From your life experiences, retranslate it in a way that it substantively connects to the existence that you live and makes that information relevant. There is no point in learning, there's no point in amassing knowledge if it does not give you substantive benefits in your reality. That's why I'm so diametrically opposed to so many esoteric philosophies that are just based on regurgitated fucking nonsense that has been amassed over years, and then they sit there and they tell you a ton of words. Memorize this Sanskrit terminology. But they don't actually go to the point of understanding what the hell the Sanskrit terminology is actually trying to communicate. The words are irrelevant. They really are. The meaning behind the words provides the worth of the communication, but not the substance. That is provided by you utilizing that meaning in such a way that it adds to the depth of the experience of your life. That is the whole reason you are here. To figure out your translated version of the profound, mysterious truth. The one unfolding, undeniable truth. Realize, though, that does not come from anyone else. It cannot, by its very definition, come from anyone else. So the sooner that you accept that and start translating information into tangible understandings that are relevant to you, the sooner that you can gain autonomy by breaking away from the idea of looking for a guru. Looking for somebody who has answers. Answers provide only certainty, whereas questions provide possibilities. Answers are derived from other people's explanations of your conceptual reality. Understanding or possibilities arises from getting rid of the idea of conceptual reality. Once everything is relegated to neutral, you'll realize that the pathways that you can go from there are truly limited, because everything exists as a pathway. And then you can start building the bridge to wisdom. We talked about the most expansive version of interacting with information thus far, and I want to expand on it a little bit. It breaks down into three ways. The first version is consume the knowledge that is out there. The second version, the second portion of it is get rid of what doesn't work for you. The third version is keep what does. And then the fourth version, this is the bridge to wisdom, is trust yourself to create the rest. That's what this process will give you. Trust for your own inner wisdom and your own inner guidance. And I'm not talking out my ass. I actually did this. I actually do it. Why? Where do you think I've come up to all of the profound observations that I'm relating to you right now? You know, or at least you suspect at this point, that I did not get them from reading books. I did not get them from any religious dogmatic point of view. I could not have. By their very definition, they're too fluid and expansive. They're too unestablished. Even right now, they grow, they augment. As I interact with them, they take greater depth and expansion. Many of the things that I'm relating to you have never crossed my time space before. I just trust myself enough where I can go into my deep well of wisdom and speak. It takes vindication to be able to build up such an interplay within yourself, such a platform. That's why this is called platforms. What I'm helping you develop is interaction modalities with the deep essence of who you are. Different ways of going about accessing your deep mind, your deep spirit, your deep body. The things that really inform all existence. Not your existence, all existence. And since they inform, meaning they tell all existence what shape to take. That's what inform means. When you start interacting with those things and you realize that you're informing all existence as well. Exactly what I'm doing right now. I am informing all existence of the appreciative nature of the observations that it has given me through my interaction with it. I'm showing my appreciation by giving that back to all existence that is open to the frequency that I'm transmitting at. That is the bridge to wisdom. Wisdom is the understanding that when you take knowledge and understanding and you put them into action, that you gain unique perspective. That's wisdom. The bridge to it is trust in oneself, in one's profoundly interdimensional, interwoven self. In all its aspects, to include the ego, to include the body, to include the mind, to include all the drives, desires. There is no exclusionary path to inclusionary truth. This brings us to the totality for this particular translation subject. My life is at a unique crossroad right now. I have ascended to such a point where it is depreciative for me to enter into the system on its own, sort of like on its own terms. I have gotten to the point where I realize that it's up to me to dictate the terms of the reality that I'm a part of. It's up to all of us to do the same thing. But until you get to the point where you can accept that as your conceptual individual truth, it is not true for you. It took me time in order for me to be able to get in front of it and realize that I am at the point where I am actively participating in the developmental unfolding of the reality that I'm inhabiting. The bridge to that was trust in myself, in vindication, in that trust in the form of faith. I speak now of true faith, not blind faith. Blind faith says the highest form of existence is putting your belief in things that cannot be proven true or untrue. That's horseshit. That's blind faith. Faith is putting your belief in the structural unfolding nature of constituent reality as it has appeared to you through trial and error. Meaning, I have faith that the sun will rise tomorrow because of the fact that it has risen every day that I'm here, and it's part of the constituent reality of this planet that it orbits around the sun and orbits and spins while it's doing it. Therefore, the sun will come back around to my visual spectrum. That's why I have faith, because I understand the way that it operates. However, it's faith because that moment in reality has not arrived yet. I just know that it will. That's faith. Put that shit to work for you. That's what the secret is, not the gimmicked version that is supposed to give you wealth by talking to a genie. That's horseshit. There's no genie. You're all the universe. So who are you making the command of? The secret is simply this. You are the universe. Once you declare how you want yourself to align, and you operate under the faith of knowing that you align according to your own wishes and wants, and then you acknowledge all versions of yourself and shape your reality, it will be so. Because you are all versions of reality. This is the profound truth. I love you. Bye.